What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix, and today I'm going through everything you need to know about herb runs in Old School. You can plant your first herb with level 9 farming in any of the 9 herb patches across RuneScape. Herbs take approximately 80 minutes to grow, and they're mostly done for profit on main accounts and regular accounts, although on Ironmen they're essential for training your herb lore and making potions. Before I go further into the guide, I want to give you guys a full guide overview in one slide so that you can screenshot it and save it somewhere so you never forget how to do a herb run. On the screen, it shows every location, the items you need, and there's also a bookmarkable screenshot down in the description. So throughout this video, I'll take you through that entire run, but before I do, there's a lot of important information about herb yield and how to maximize your profits. So upon completing a full herb run, your yield or the number of herbs you get depends on 2 main factors: how many herbs you get per patch and how many patches die. Both of these factors can be improved through in-game items, quests, and unlocks. This is how the game calculates the number of herbs you get per patch. When you start to harvest a herb patch, the herb patch has 3 harvest lives. Then for every pick of a herb, there's a chance that the life goes down by 1. Once it hits 0, the patch becomes cleared. Using compost on a patch actually increases the number of harvest lives the patch has. With regular compost, it adds 1, super adds 2, and ultra adds 3. So this means the absolute minimum number of herbs you can get per herb patch while you use Ultra Compost is 6, which is double the standard amount, making Ultra Compost a must for herb running. You can also increase the chance of not using a harvest life. Your farming level plays a decent part in your harvesting. I found the formula that's used to calculate the chance of using one of those harvest lives, and I plotted that against your farming level. So at level 1, there's around a 6.2% chance of saving a life just from your farming level, and at 99, it's around 12.5%. So proportionately, that's about double the chance of saving a life comparing 1 to 99. Magic Secateurs, which are obtained at the end of Fairy Tail Part 1, also play a big part in harvest lives. Magic Secateurs don't increase your yield by 10%, they increase the chance of not using a harvest life by 10%. These, along with Ultra Compost, are the 2 essential items when it comes to herb runs. They're both accessible on very low accounts and provide the biggest benefits out of all of the items. There's a few more items that lower the chance of using a harvest life. Completing the Kandarin Diary provides an extra chance, but only for the Cadaby herb patch. This extra chance ranges from 5% to 15%, and that stacks with the Magic Secateurs. The same can be said for the Hard Kuren Diary. The Hosidius and the Farming Guild herb patches receive a 5% better chance of saving a harvest life. In the recently added Anima patches found in the Farming Guild, you can plant Addis seeds, which provide a 5% chance of saving your patch life. Wearing the Farming Skill Cape also provides an additional 5%. Let's talk about the chance of your crop becoming diseased and dying. Every growth stage of a farming patch has a chance of becoming diseased, and if it's not cured by the next growth stage, the plant dies. Basically, herbs have a base chance of 26 in 128 or 20.3% to become diseased per stage. However, each tier of compost reduces your chance of becoming diseased, halved for compost, 1/5 for super, and 1/7 for ultra compost. So this changes the 20.3% chance per stage to 2.9% with ultra compost. Herbs all have 5 growth stages, but only 3 of those growth stages can trigger disease. You definitely should be using ultra compost, or at least some sort of compost if you're an Ironman. There's also an Anima plant called the Iazor, which provides a further 80% reduction in the chance of disease, making it close to impossible for your plants to die. With level 78 magic and 60% house favor, you can use the spell Resurrect Crops, which has a chance of bringing a dead crop back to life depending on your magic level. At 78 magic, when you unlock it, the chance is 50%, and at level 99, the chance is 75%. It costs around 7.5k to cast though, so you should only be using this on seeds like Ranarrs, Snapdragons, or Torsouls, which cost a lot of money. Also, you can use an Imbued Heart or a magic potion to boost your level to get a better chance. There's also 3 disease-free herb patches. There's the Hosidius patch, Troll Stronghold patch, and Weiss patch, and these patches will generally bring in more profit over time since they will never die, so it's highly recommended to unlock and use these patches. Moving on to the profitable farming section. When it comes to making money with herb runs, the type of herb you should plant really depends on your farming level and how many unlocks you have, like magic secateurs and diaries. I'm going to explain two examples, one at level 40 and one at level 80 farming, because I think this is the best way to understand all this. So let's say you have level 40 farming, you have magic secateurs, you're using ultra compost, and you're at a farming patch that doesn't have a diary boost. So these are the expected profits per type of seed, and it includes the average harvest life length, the chance of your crop dying, and also takes into account the cost of the seed. I'm also showing herbs you can't use yet, but it will help you understand how the profitability changes with your level. So you can see the most profitable seed here is toadflax. Now let's change that to level 80 farming. Again, you have magic secateurs, you're using ultra compost, and at a farming patch without a diary boost. Ranarrs are now the most profitable seeds, with snapdragons a very close second, then toadflax third. So all of this means toadflaxes are the best to grow at a lower level, unlocked at level 38 farming. Stay away from high price seeds until higher levels, at least level 60, where ranarrs and snapdragons become best. I personally prefer snapdragons because the XP per patch is around triple what you'd get when you harvest a ranarr patch. At 85 farming, you can also plant torsols, which are a fair bit less profitable than ranarrs and snaps, but the expected XP that you get per patch is double snapdragons and 6 times more than ranarrs. Of course, the price of seeds and herbs changes all the time. In the description, I've linked a very straightforward herb run calculator to see which herb is best for your level. Although, due to the demand of ranarrs, snapdragons for restores, and toadflax for Sara brews, they're likely to remain the best options for a very long time. Let's get into the actual herb run. Gear-wise, the only vital thing you need to be wearing is your magic secateurs. You can also take along full graceful if you have it. Inventory-wise, you'll need farming tools, so a rake if you haven't been to a patch before, a seed dibber for planting, and a spade for harvesting. You'll also need herb seeds. There's 9 herb patch locations, so 9 herb seeds if you're doing all of them, or you can just withdraw 10 to make it easy. You'll also need ultra compost, which can be stored at a leprechaun and accessible at every leprechaun across RuneScape. You can take them to him in noded form and withdraw them as you do your run. A bottomless compost bucket will save you a decent chunk of time if you can get one from Hespori. Lastly, you'll of course need teleports to every herb patch. There's 9 patch locations, but instead of just throwing a bunch of items and their requirements on the screen, I'm going to explain how to get to each patch as I show you the run. From there, you can choose which teleport works best for you, and also you can do this run in any order, but I do recommend trying to memorize a specific route so that you don't forget or miss any of the patches. I'm starting with patches that have little to no requirements to access, and as I go on, they'll have more and more requirements. If you don't have the requirements for one of them, you can just skip it and move on to the next one until you unlock it. The first herb patch location is north of the Catherby Bank. A simple teleport to Camelot, then running east is the best way there. You can also use a Catherby teleport on the Lunar Spellbook, which is slightly closer, but it uses a lot more runes and is far more expensive. You can of course put one of these teleports in your house, along with many of the other teleports that I'm going to show you. And this is a great option when you do herb runs, since you don't need to be on a certain spellbook or have certain runes, although it will slow down your herb run, having to load your house and go to the teleport each time. When you reach the herb patch, you firstly begin with harvesting the patch, and when your player starts picking, you can spam click harvest for a second or two, and your character starts harvesting at double the speed. You should do this at all patches. Use one of your herbs on the little leprechaun and he will note them all for you. Once the herb patch is depleted, you can go ahead and plant a seed, then ultra compost the patch. If this is your first herb run ever, you'll need to rake the patches and plant the seeds instead of harvest the patch and plant the seeds. So that's Catherby done. The next patch is near the cabbage field south of Falador. The fastest way here is using an Explorer's Ring 2 or above to teleport there. The ring requires the Lumbridge Achievement Diary, and number 2 needs at least medium complete. Alternatively, you can use an Amulet of Glory to teleport to Draenor, then run northwest, or simply teleporting to Falador and running southeast is an option for low levels. Process again is the same. Harvest the patch using the spam click method to double the speed, plant a new seed, note your herbs, grab and use ultra compost, then move on to the next patch, which is northeast of Ardi. After the medium Artie achievement diary, you can use the cloak to teleport right next to the herb patch. Alternatively, there's a wide range of other teleports nearby. There's the BLR Fairy Ring near the Legends Guild, there's teleports to the Fishing Guild that's nearby using a skills necklace or lunar spells. You can take a combat bracelet to the Ranging Guild and run slightly south, or one more accessible to lower levels is a teleport to Artie on the standard spellbook and run east out of the gates and then north. Again, it's the same process, then you're off to the next patch in the Hosidius region of Kourend. An easy and accessible way to get here for almost all accounts is by moving your house to Kourend, where the house portal is very close by south of the herb patch. The closest teleport to the patch is with Xeric's Talisman to Xeric's Glade, where the talisman can be obtained from lizardmen or stone chests in the Lizardman Temple. After the Depths of Despair, you can use Kored's Memoirs. Alternatively, a bit of a slower but free way is using the Tithe Farm minigame teleport, which you can use every 20 minutes, then run west. The next patch is the first one that has a requirement to be able to use. Located west of the Ectofuntus, there's a herb patch where you need Priest in Peril to access. There's a few ways here. Using the ALQ Fairy Ring is the fastest, or you can use the Ectofile, which you get after the Ghost's Ahoy quest, then run west. Alternatively, you can use a Frankenstein's Castle teleport on the Arceus spellbook and run east. If you're using the Fairy Ring, be wary if you're a lower level. There's vampires and leeches that will attack you. You again do the same process, and next is the Farming Guild herb patch, which requires 60% Hosidius House favor to access, along with 65 farming to access the left side wing. Using a skills necklace to the Farming Guild is the best option to get here, far quicker than any other teleport. I really recommend upgrading your jewelry box and using the skills necklace teleport from there to save yourself needing to recharge all the time. For Iron Men, you can use the CIR Fairy Ring near Mount Carullum, then run southwest to the Farm Guild. The next patch is the one on top of Troll Stronghold. To use it, you need to have done My Arm's Big Adventure. The fastest way there is with a Stony Basalt teleport, which requires the quest Making Friends with My Arm. You can store basalt teleports in your player-owned house portal chamber, which is a lot easier than having to create your own Stony Basalt every time. An alternative way to this patch is using the Trollheim teleport, which needs the Edgar's Ruse quest to be able to use it. It teleports you east of the patch, and you'll need to make your way down west from the top of Trollheim. And if you have 73 agility, you can climb up the rocks. Otherwise, you have to enter Troll Stronghold, run all the way around and up the ladder to the patch area. The next patch is Whis, which you can use after making friends with My Arm. And you also need to build the Fire of Nourishment, which is easy and simple to do. Ideally, you should be using Icy Basalt to get here, which again can be stored in your player-owned house for unlimited teleports. The alternative way here is to take a boat with Larry in Relica, who is closest to the DKS Fairy Ring. The final patch, the 9th patch, which has the highest requirement, is the one on Harmony Island. To use it, you need to have finished the Mauritania Achievement Diary, so that's everything including Elite complete. To access Harmony Island, there's a teleport on the Arceus spellbook, which takes you right next to the herb patch. This teleport can be put into your portal chamber as well, which I highly recommend doing. The best alternative way there is by using a mostly harmless teleport scroll off the Grand Exchange, and once you use that, you can talk to Brother Tranquility for a ride to Harmony Island. So that's all 9 herb patches. Once again, right here is the entire herb run slide I showed at the start of this video. Feel free to screenshot or bookmark the version that I've put down in the description. Thanks for watching this full herb run guide. Be sure to leave a like if you learned something today, and if you love old school RuneScape and want more videos like this one, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.